Hi everyone, my name is Shauna and welcome to the It's Baby Bun Bun channel. For today's build, we are doing a speed build of an rundown apartment building. Now, I'm creating this building for my new Let's Play, and that Let's Play is going to be the Luna Legacy Challenge. And I'm really excited about it. If you guys don't know what the challenge is, I will have it linked below so you can click on it. But basically, it's another legacy challenge. And I'm pretty sure it is an older challenge, but I'm new to it. So I found it really interesting, especially like the first portion of the first generation where she just has to, or the sim that you're playing with has to leave their spouse first episode. And it got me hooked. So I'm creating this build here. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a pro builder, but this build did take me a while to figure out because I'm very indecisive. And so I was changing color schemes and changing the textures of the building so often. And it was, I did find an image on Pinterest that was like my inspo. I'll have it pop up in the video in a second. So that made it easier definitely, but it was pretty difficult because it's like my first actual build. And so the sim that I'm gonna have move in here, she's a mother, and her daughter are leaving the husband because of various reasons. I'll talk about it in the next video when I start the Let's Play. But this build in general, I wanted it to feel like a community, and so I know the Sims that I'm going to already put in this building that are gonna also be, characters inside the Let's Play. And so I feel like that also made it easier to like decorate their homes and stuff. But right now, I'm just finding the windows. The windows was the hardest thing for me. And I say that because I didn't want it to look like an actual building like the ones around this area. And we are, sorry guys, we are building in the San Myshuno world in like the lower income side. And so at first I was gonna build it so it could match the surrounding buildings. But when I was looking at the inspo, I just liked the way it looked better, so I just went a different route. And so I am gonna build something else next door to it, so where the karaoke spot is. I'm gonna change that to kind of match this building so it doesn't feel out of place. But right now I'm doing the backyard area. And for this build, I definitely did add a lot of cracks and garbage everywhere. And I just feel like it's definitely a starter home. And so the Sims that do live here, especially the elderly Sims, they're wanting to better the community. And so here I'm going to put in flower pots and gardening stuff. And I just feel like the people in this building are definitely trying to make a better impact on their environment and the community for the kids and, upcoming generations. And so I definitely had a lot of fun doing this build because it was definitely out of my comfort zone. But the story just goes so well with it. And it was just important that for me, their homes matched who they were. And so I'll talk about that more once I start actually building each apartment. There's a total of 6 apartments, and I only built, I think, 4. I only did 4 as furnished, I think, or was it 3? But the top two floors, I didn't do anything. The top floor, my bad. The third floor, I didn't really do anything to it. I just made it so that when you move in, there's just a kitchen and a bathroom. And so you have free range to like, add your Sims furniture and stuff like that. And so I'm going in right now and putting in the garbage. I did go to the gallery and load up different, like when I searched in the gallery, I searched garbage, and the room section will give you like a little garbage room kind of thing. And so you just take down the walls, and I just took out the trash and started placing it. But I do this with a lot of items because it's hard to search like the debug section over and over again. So this made it 10 times easier because everything was already there. You see the pile that I just took out and I was moving it. See? So it made it easier because I didn't have to actually go through debug. If you know debug, you know that it's pretty hard to search, pretty hard to find things. This just made it 10 times easier. And I do this with a lot of my items, like even like clutter items or paintings. I make sure that I am able to just make it easier for myself when it comes to building. But I feel like the garbage just brings it to a different level because it actually shows rundown. The cracks were very tedious in this build, I'm not gonna lie. It did take me a minute to put the rugged, like scraped up, dirty look to the building. It was actually fun though, so I'm not complaining about it because I like the way it looks. I recently just got this PC, and moving from like a laptop to a desktop was really interesting because the keys are just, I don't know, farther apart, or like you have to learn how to toggle between things, and it's just a little different also having a mouse instead of a trackpad. And so a lot of this, like a lot of the building times, like moving around was a little difficult. I'm not gonna lie. But I think for the most part, I got the hang of it. And so these ACs that came with for rent worked perfectly because they all came in like this dingy look, but also the I don't want to say dirt, but like the black shadow that you're seeing, that's also from the for rent pack, and it just adds character to the building. And I just really enjoy making the building look so run down. But I think this is a perfect place to put this build. And I say that because there's also like a playground around there, and like festivals happen over here. And so a lot of the kids activities are also here. And I feel like my Sims character, her daughter is going to enjoy like playing with friends and stuff like that, because I am gonna put in my own Sims with different families inside, so we have more to interact with when we're doing the Let's Play. But I just know that it's gonna be fun for, the kids to go downstairs and play around and stuff like that. And then the elderlies, like I said before, the elderly Sims that are gonna be living in this building want to make it a better building. So I feel like throughout the Let's Play, we are going to elevate the building a little bit, probably get it, a little cleaner, less trash places and stuff like that. But I was trying to look for the graffiti. I do eventually find it, but there's a graffiti wall decor from, I think it is Let Get Together, something like that. And I was trying to find it, but I just couldn't. But the werewolf one was pretty good, honestly. And I'm just doing more cluttering up, making sure everything looks the part of dingy. And as you can see, we're moving on to the inside of the build. And I found that making the layout was a little more difficult than I thought. I'd probably say I redid this layout like 4 or 5 different times. But the hallway is gonna be dingy. So the room next to the hallway area is gonna be a laundry room. But for this first apartment, it is going to be an elderly sim. I think her name's gonna be Grace or Joyce. I haven't figured it out yet, but she lost her husband recently and has moved into this neighborhood and has found a new purpose in gardening. And she does have 3 children who I think will come around, but we're not playing with her, so it doesn't really matter. But she recently moved here and is just wanting to make the community a better place with all the greenery that she's gonna plant and all the food she's gonna have. And I wanted her to be a very loving sim. Like you feel loved and appreciated by her, and she just makes you feel like you're doing great in life. Like she's that kind of grandmother. Well, she's gonna be the neighborhood grandmother. But for her house, I did want it to look, older, more cluttered, more lived in essentially. And so the kitchen was a little difficult, I want to say, because it was smaller than, a normal kitchen that I would do. But I did want all of the kitchens in each apartment to feel similar. Like I know a lot of apartments in the real world, normally they have like the same baseline or borderline color schemes or textures, or they normally have just the basic kind of kitchen in each apartment. And so I kind of wanted each of them to feel like that, but I also wanted it to have a feel of like the owner of the property is, renovating it and making updates to each apartment. And so for the first floor, I think they had the same kitchen style. Like, I think it's from the For Rent pack. And then the upstairs, the second floor, has the base game um, kitchen stuff. And so I wanted it to feel like, they're on the same like wavelength, but like basically that the owner is working towards fixing each apartment up and making it feel more homey and cleaner and stuff like that. And so right now we're just doing the four year area. And so I did put in a computer, but it is an old one. She's probably not going to use it. It's probably just for her kids when they come over to visit or something, because I doubt she would use a computer. And then finding actual clutter, like different types of clutter for these apartments, was harder than I thought it was going to be, because I know we do have a lot of clutter items in the build, but for some reason I just kept pulling the same items. Like, I'm not sure what that was about, but I was really trying to switch it up. And all of their appliances are also like a little rundown, because, it's the type of build that we're going for. And I just wanted to also include those aspects inside the build as well as outside the build. So right now we're in the kitchen. I was not sure where I should put this, like if I should give her an island. I did end up putting a table there. It's okay. I mean, I don't honestly don't care for the table, but it needed something in that space for me. And so putting the table in there solved my issue. But I would say you could also just take out the table and leave it blank. But like I said, it felt like something was missing. So I did just leave it there. So she has two dining room tables, and it kind of looks like she took the chair from the first dining room table and put it to the second one. So like there's no chairs that are going to be in the middle table. But right now I'm just cluttering up the kitchen, and I know that there's a mod in particular that helps with the shelving, or like the raising the items up to the height that they need to be. I forgot what it's called, but I will be looking for that, because doing each individual item is time consuming. And like I said, we want to be efficient in these builds. So I am going to look for that. I think it's something shelf mod. I know a lot of people have been using it. So if you watch a lot of speed builds, you'll see like a red shelf that they've been using. And so I am going to look for that, because I forgot about it until I just started making this video. So there's the second table I was telling you guys about. And so she the way that I do it is I put, I think, three chairs here, and then I take another chair and I put it at the middle dining table. And I mean, it looks cute to me. Like, she dragged a table over there just so she could sit over there sometimes. And like I said, she is. Did I say that her favorite color is green? So her favorite colors are green and blue right now. And I feel like ever since her husband passed away, she's just been on a very clean and I want to say spiritual, but like she's found a passion in gardening that she's never had before. And so the passion is going to be very helpful to the community, especially in the back where I put like the planter boxes and stuff. And I gave her TV, but I doubt she's going to be watching TV for real. She wants to be outside in the neighborhood, talking to people, helping people. So I just put it there for decor purposes, actually. She's one of those people that would rather be outside on the porch, like watching people in the community go by and speaking to everybody, babysitting. I feel like babysitting is a really good option for her too, because our sim is going to be gone at work a lot because she has two part-time jobs. And so when we need somebody to watch her daughter, I think her right here, the grandma of the community, is going to be the one to help and assist. I feel like it's definitely going to feel like a village kind of situation when it comes to raising the main character's child. And yeah, so we're doing the finishing touches up in the living room. I do actually go back in and fill in the pictures of her family, like when she was pregnant with them and their wedding. It was so cute, you guys. And like, I made her husband who passed, and you guys, I honestly think he's the best looking male sim that I've ever created. And it was so hard to just, like, you know, end his life because he just looks so handsome, so sweet. Like their relationship just was so cute. But I did want those pictures of him around the house. So I felt like I kind of had to do it. Moving on to the bedroom. This is actually my favorite bedroom out of all the apartments. And I think that's the case because of how cluttered it is and how like realistic the thought process was throughout this. And so I'm pretty sure I do give her a chair with like clothes on it and then a basket of clothes on the ground. She came in and put the clothes down but didn't put them away type thing. And so I felt like that was a little, realistic because that's basically what I do. Like I I really don't put away my clothes right then and there after I fold them. So they're just sitting in the basket. And you guys, I've never used the Sims 4 carpet. Like, I've never touched Sims 4 carpet until this build. And it was very important for this build because they did have different patterns and also different stains, which adds character to the build, I would say. And a lot of my inspo is from like Pinterest. I'm definitely on Pinterest 24/7. And so I have a whole Sims 4 folder dedicated to like builds and stuff like that. So all of my inspo comes from the Pinterest, like I said. And it definitely makes a difference to have that inspo because I got stuck a few times with doing the build and had to take, breaks, but having the ability to go on Pinterest and just look at different builds and different actual like live apartments, so like in world apartments, was helpful to me, and it definitely improved the build as well because things that I wouldn't have thought of was already there at my disposal. And so use your resources, guys, okay? Because it definitely makes a difference. And so we're still adding, holes in the wall and dirt and pictures over them, trying to cover them up a little bit. But overall, I think I do change these lights though, because I wasn't a big fan of the gray ones. So these ones I feel like are better and also light up the room better. But as you can see here, I'm going into the gallery again, trying to get clutter items to assist in the cluttering of the room. And there was a lot of items in this one, but it's I would say it's helpful because I don't have to sit there and go through each and every item, and it gives me random items that I wouldn't have used otherwise. I would say that this build took me about 3 days, and I say that because I had to, go to work and stuff like that. But I would say about a total of maybe 7, 8 hours altogether when it came to like footage wise. And I'm realizing that I did take my time with this one because I wanted it to be so. It is a large build, so I wanted to make sure that it felt like what I was going for, which would have been the rundown apartment. And I feel like it's given that completely. And I forgot to add a lot of spider webs places. Like now that I'm looking back at it, I added a few and I think I added them in the emptier apartments, but I could have added more now looking at it. It is what it is though. I feel like she would listen to like jazz music, so I did put like that old little stereo over there. I feel like she would do that instead of watch TV as well. But overall, I think this may be my favorite apartment setup besides the one that I'm gonna eventually, tackle when I start that Let's Play. And then on this little balcony, we're putting a little more planters so she could have her own little garden section. I didn't actually play test it yet to see if everything is functional. I doubt the planters in the back would be because they're facing a wall, so I don't think she can get to them. But I don't think that really matters because we're not really playing with her. And a lot of the bathrooms are super small, and it's like this 6 tile range. And so I also made the bathrooms all look pretty similar as well because like I said before, I wanted it to feel like it's all one apartment. Not one apartment, but a building. And so they all have their little, individual touches to them, but majority of it is like the same shower, toilet, and sink combo. And then for this one, I think I did give her a robe in there and some random pictures. And I feel like that definitely goes with the older older sim vibe because normally, I'm not gonna lie, like my grandmother's house, she had like a random like piece of art in the bathroom, and I felt like it didn't need to be in the bathroom, but they'll put stuff like that inside. So I think this definitely fits that vibe. And then the curtain, perfect. That shower is from Parenting. The what is it called? I think it's called the Parenting pack. And we're moving on to the laundry room now. This room was pretty easy to do because I think it was supposed to be like less, but dingy. And so it worked out because we had those new chairs from the For Rent pack, which I thought was perfect in there. And then I just put kitchen counters inside there to make like the little sink area. You gotta add the puddles, the puddle details. And I didn't realize how deep that crack is on the wall, but I think that's on the outside, so it doesn't matter. But I'm just creating this space, Real cute, real simple, nothing too crazy, and very functional for them. So they could just come downstairs, do their laundry. I feel like that's a good touch, as in like gameplay vibes. And so they could just do their laundry, sit down there. Kids could be in the backyard. Like, I was really thinking about this based on the Let's Play. And I mean, that's what it's for. So I think it's going to work out great. I was going to put that, um, the parenting thing there, but I thought that it was too crowded. It's only like a little community space, it's nothing crazy. Now we are moving on to the owner's property. So this is the owner's home or apartment, and he lives with his mom. She is also an elder sim, and her and Miss Grace are going to be, like best buddies. They're gonna have their own little what you call it, the group, the groups that we have in The Sims, the get together groups. I think I'm gonna make them a get together group so that they can, you know, plant together and play games together, and like we'll add other elderlies to it to make it, fun and more interactive. I loved this little pot that I put on the stove to make it look like, there was a meal already made there. Um, I really enjoyed this build a lot. And then the cookbook just is a perfect touch. I forget where the cookbook is from though. And then these tiles right here, I feel like elevated this kitchen to the max because this is the owner, and so I thought, he would have did renovations on his own. And so this would have been the first renovation that he did for him and his mom's place. And it just goes so well with the kitchen and the tiles that it chose. And so I really, really do like that portion. Now we're going to move on to the living room. This living room was the hardest one for me. And I say that because there's just not enough, a lot of space. And so it's similar to the last one, but I think it looks great. It it's just furnishing, more clutter, more decor. They do have a TV because I feel like the son is more, you know, tech tech savvy, and he's very handy, and so he needs his technology to like look up certain things and stuff like that. I just feel like they would actually watch TV in this household. And his mom is another sweet lady. She used to be a lawyer, and so now she's just working on the community as well. And she's retired just like Grace. Grace used to be a school teacher, and I found that that was so cool because there's gonna be a lot of kids in the community. And as I said before, the babysitting thing is like super duper perfect, and so she could help kids with the homework and stuff like that. I feel like this Let's Play just came together, and I am super duper excited to actually start playing. And I'm gonna do a whole Let's Play series on it. And I'm just really happy with the way this build turned out. I know I keep saying it, but like, I'm actually happy and surprised that I was able to do so well with all the ideas that I had going on because I was all over the place. But it turned out better than I thought it was. And so we're just going to continue to decorate this home. The rooms are very simple in this house, and I feel like that's because the grandmother is a very neat sim, so she's very tidy with everything. And I just feel like she keeps the house clean. She's the one that does everything, the laundry. Like, she does everything for her son, so he's definitely a mama's boy. And him owning the building keeps him busy all the time. So he doesn't have time to do the cleaning or cooking and stuff like that. And his mom is going to do it for him. So why not? His mom is going to have a little boyfriend who's going to be a part of their group. And he's also just going to be a nice, sweet old man who is just going to treat her so well, make her so happy. And And I feel like it was important to create stories for each of these individuals because it just helps with the gameplay. And you guys could also just download this and make your own stories as well. But me personalizing the um apartments was super important to me because like I said, I had so many ideas for it and everything just came out well. Like you see how I have to size down everything and move everything up and down? That shelf would have helped me so much. And now that I'm looking back, I'm like, I'm going to get the shelf for the next build. I promise you that. Cause it's just so much easier with the shelf. Like I don't know how I could have missed that, but I did. And then you see how the window with the AC looks? I wasn't a big fan of that. And so covering up with the curtains worked perfectly fine for me. But I felt like it would have looked better if I did go with the city living windows, like how the buildings around are. I felt like it would have just sat in the window better. But I know for next time. And you see, there's the laundry again. Like, I feel like his mom does everything for him. He is a mama's boy to the max. I'm just putting some more random art on the wall to cover the hole that's there. He wouldn't spend so much time in his bedroom because I feel like everything in this apartment would be breaking left and right. He'll just have to go and fix them. Like his handiness skill has to be over a level 8 to be running this building. And his goal is also to make the apartment better for everyone. And they do have a cat, and her name is going to be Minnie. And she's going to be a white cat. She's going to be so adorable. And they've had her for years already, so she is an adult. And now we're moving on to the second floor. I changed the stair placement because I felt like it would be better the other way. And so after changing the stairs, we work on the hallway setup because we want to make sure everything matches and everything looks cohesive. So I do just copy and paste the floors, the wallpaper, some of the cracks, and the same doors. I wanted to make sure all the doors are also in unison. And we are now going to move on to the apartment that I will be moving my sim into. And this is also going to be another 1 bedroom apartment. And for this one, I only wanted a kitchen and a bathroom already set up, but I didn't want any other furniture because, our Sims are moving in, they're starting from scratch basically. And so I do this for the third floor apartments as well. And I didn't create any Sims for those other 2 apartments upstairs. So it's honestly up to you guys if you want to create the apartments or decorate them. But I like the option that I can just move a sim in and it's like they're starting in a brand new apartment. And so I wanted this to look run down, like the landlord didn't even get a chance to update anything. And so the carpet is all dirty with stains and the walls have, holes and cracks and stuff like that. I definitely do like this green wallpaper, this green carpet, my bad, because of the stains and it makes it look more dingy and outdated. And so eventually, we're gonna fix it up. But to start, like the original challenge, she only has I think $500 in her 500 simoleons in her account. And so starting this slow, it's definitely going to be cool to see us improve her life. And so I don't show you guys the third floor because it's the same thing as what I just did in that other apartment. But moving on to this apartment here, it is for a single mother of 3. She has 2 twin boys and a toddler. And This one, the layout was a little tricky for me, but I did like the placement of where the kitchen is. And so I worked it based on the kitchen's placement. And it's a 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom. And I just wanted to display her kids, messy rooms and having. She does have a flow to it. It's like more of an open concept. But overall, it's just like a family apartment. It's very cluttered. For the mom, I was thinking that she moved from the world that we got the cottage stuff from. So that farming world. I was thinking that she came from there. Like she was raised on a farm, planting, gardening, taking care of animals, and she wanted to change of scenery. And so whatever happened to her children's father, she just moved here and thought it would be better to get a better start on life. And so she wanted she wanted some change, and so she moved here. And I haven't really thought about a career for her yet, so that's another thing. But she is going to be dating within this world, and we're gonna see that unfold within the Let's Play as well. Because I'm hoping that her and my Sims get along, but we'll see how it goes. A lot of the stuff I used, I think, is from the Growing Together pack, and that was the one where it's not quite parenting, but it's more so like the family style pack where people could come over and visit and stuff like that. I honestly think that's the stuff that from that pack is actually my favorite. And but I really do like the parenting pack because parenting pack brought in more of like punishments and teaching your children things that they would learn in society and stuff like that. So like giving them the ability to put them on timeout or teaching them how to say please, thank you, and all that other stuff. So I feel like for Let's Play purposes, the parenting pack is so good. Like I honestly think it's my favorite one. It's the best one. But for stuff wise, especially for family builds, the Growing Together stuff, I'm really obsessed with that. And then I didn't even notice that we got pillows. Like, what update did we get pillows in? Because I could have been using that in a whole bunch of other builds, and I just never seem to have saw it. And so I added them to this because it's so cute. Like I didn't even notice we got them, and I feel like it's a great addition. They need to add more with different swatches and different colors. I know I could probably get like a mod that will have it, but I really do like that we have pillows. And we add a few bikes because I feel like the kids would go outside together, ride bikes with their friends, stuff like that. I also enjoy these picture frames. I think I put them in the other builds downstairs too. And so I am going to fill those just like how I'm going to fill the ones for downstairs with like family photos and stuff. And so this is the kids' room on the left side. And I did give them the bigger room, of course. There's three of them versus one of the mom. And gave them a bunk bed. Thought it would save, a little space in the room. And I just add a whole bunch of glitter and a whole bunch of toys and stuff like that. They get to each play with their own things. The toddler is really into dinosaurs right now. And so we add a whole bunch of dinosaurs and just a whole bunch of things that they could play around with. And I feel like they're all interested in different things right now. So the room is just chaotic and they're little boys. So it's just a mess. I really, I'm not sure I like how this room came out. I just liked that it was a mess. And so if I could do this again, I would definitely make it more cohesive with all the color schemes. Like I know it goes together right now, but like I feel like it's a lot for the room or for the space. Like I feel like if it was in a bigger area, it would be better. But you see that little the little rocket ship that they made like out of cardboard? I find that so cute. And they have another swatch where I think it's like a princess or teddy bear on the box. It is so cute. And like I remember doing things like that as a kid where I would take, boxes and stuff that my mom that wasn't using, and we would make like little Barbie houses, and we would do stuff like that. I don't even know if kids do that anymore. Like I feel like everybody's just on technology. So kids aren't really like focused on playing with stuff, being creative, but like we had to growing up. So it's cool to see that stuff being put in the game as well. The bathroom's pretty simple. And for these chairs, I like that it looks like she attempted to paint them. And so, the paint is eventually like chipping off and wearing down. So I like the character that it gives, the whole build. And overall, I'm just finishing up. We are just adding a little more detail, a little more clutter, more plants, and stuff like that. So I honestly hope you guys enjoyed the build. You can stay tuned for the screenshots at the end. And thank you for watching the video. Hope you guys turn into the actual Let's Play. That should be the next video as well.